Hey guys, it's James from TeaDB bringing you InBetweenIsode number 60. So I lied once again. There will be no storage comparison episode. That'll be next week. And you might be wondering why this episode is being released today. Well, it's because Denny is sick, so we have yet to film episode 136, I believe. But that should be getting to you guys on Wednesday, so we're still planning on filming it. But I kind of had to film this episode sort of impromptu, just to get something out there on Tuesday. So today, I am finally switching it up from the Yang Qin Hao teas to something a little bit more affordable, and this was sent to me courtesy of David from Essence of Tea. Thank you. The Wild Peacock. So it sells for 38 GBP, Great British Pounds, which comes out to about $57 for 380 grams, which I think is actually a very reasonable price for this tea. So that puts it right around 15 cents a gram. The material is from the Samao Prefecture, so a little bit north of Xishuangbanna, and it's been stored very cleanly, but in the more humid climate of Guangdong, and I'm a fan of the few sessions that I've had of this tea so far. And I think it does what it's intended to do very well, as sort of like a soft, very easy to drink daily drinker. I think this tea would be great for beginners, but before I get too much into it, let's taste the tea. So a lot of sort of fruity notes coming off it, maybe like dried apricots, a little bit dry in the aroma. Cheers, guys. So this is steep number 2. I had steep number 1 already. It's really soft, easy to take in at the beginning. It's got a decent body, and then it starts to get a little bit, there's just a slight bit of sort of like dry fruit astringency sort of at the end. The taste extends to the back of the mouth. It has, pretty good depth. It doesn't have like an extreme throatiness or anything like that, but you can feel the tea move backwards, and the taste is not really just focused in your mouth. Alright, so steep number 3. Cheers, guys. Texturally, it's also really nice. It's like a mix between having a really slick feel, but it's also thick. It's not quite syrupy thick, but some of that thickness is getting there. So the basic form of it is still very sweet, a very sort of fruit taste to it. Quite tasty. And this is a tea that I think is difficult, assuming that you have some basics. I think it'd be a very forgiving brew if you mess up your brewing, or if you go a little bit too long. It's definitely possible to get this tea astringent, but I think it'd be really nice for someone that might be newer to Pu'erh to buy like a full cake and just keep going at this, get sort of repetitions on it. It's definitely like a proper Pu'erh, but it's very, very friendly in its form. So I think it'd do really well as sort of like a daily drinker, where you can just keep drinking it at the office or something like that. So you see it's sort of transitioning from orange to red. A very clean taste too, I should say. It's been stored in Guangdong, but I'm a fan of the way that this tea has been stored. It's definitely doesn't have that sort of Hong Kong traditional storage taste to it. So maybe a little bit more foresty notes coming out of this. even some sort of floral notes. They're not sort of like that top taste floral notes that you'll get in really fresh tea, but there is sort of like a floral aspect to it. Compared to something like the white whale is more rancid. It's stronger. It's a little bit rougher. And this would be sort of like on the opposite end of the spectrum of having a very friendly taste, a really soft texture, very smooth, smoother than the white whale. So people that are maybe fans of Iwu teas, they'd probably enjoy this tea as well. It's very elegant, very nice to drink. And I found, I haven't tested it on this session obviously, but I found that it goes for a reasonable amount of time. 12 or 13 steeps should not be a major issue if you have sort of similar brewing parameters to myself. Cheers, guys. So it's starting to lose a little bit of the thickness. There's a little bit of roughness, actually. I'm kind of surprised. A little bit more roughness in this particular steep. So that sort of astringency has grown on it. And part of it might be, some of these cakes have been iron compressed and some of them have been stone compressed. So the iron compressed ones will come apart a little bit slower. So I think that might have been what's happening. The tea is just getting a little bit stronger on a little bit later than it would if it was fully stone pressed. Yeah, so really nice sort of tea. And you know, one of the ways that I've shifted my Pu'erh buying as I've gotten more experience is, you know, there's so much attention that's really focused to these young teas that are coming out. But if I were put at gunpoint and forced to drink certain teas, like if I had to pick a tea to drink every day for about a week, I'd almost certainly not choose a young tea, and I'd choose something more in this range. So I found myself gravitating more into this range, buying more teas similar to the Wild Peacock, fitting in sort of like that 2005 to 2009 range that has already undergone some sort of storage, ideally in a place sort of like Guangdong or Taiwan or Malaysia, places where it's allowed to mature more. And I just find that those teas are really tasty, and in terms of like the amount of pleasure or enjoyment I get per the amount of money I'm spending, I find that those teas tend to hit that mark closer. So the Yongqing Halo teas also fit into that category, but they're definitely sort of a step up in price. So I think this is, you know, it's not as good as those Yongqing Halo teas, but I think it's for people, and I suspect this is most people that are shopping sort of in that lower range, I would totally recommend this tea. $57 for something that's nearly 10 years old, with pretty decent base material like this, I don't see anything wrong with it. There's no major flaws with this tea. It doesn't have the sort of extreme excitement of the really, really amazing teas, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. So I think that just about wraps up this sort of rambling episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be bringing on a couple more Essence of Tea teas pretty soon in a couple episodes with Denny. So thank you guys for watching. Check out this tea if you think it might be up your alley, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.